Hi Year 4s, I hope you had a lovely half term with your families and managed to rest up and get some energy ready for a fresh half term of learning. We didn't quite have the weather we'd hoped for, did we? But I hope it didn't stop you from managing to get outside and enjoying yourselves. We're going to carry on the Vikings for the next 2 weeks. There's still so much that we've got to cover, and also I don't want us to start a new topic until we know a little bit more about what's happening with return to school, because I'd like to hold it off until we're all back in the classroom, hopefully. So your history relates to the gods and goddesses. See if we can find out a little bit more about those this week. I put up some links and a template for you to use on Google Classroom. I know some of you already have some knowledge about these, but it'll be interesting to find about some that perhaps you don't know so well. So I hope you enjoy that one. And then our English is going to be a 2-week project kind of thing. If you remember back in the first autumn term, we did some non-fiction writing about the Egyptians, and you kind of shared what you'd learnt about, chose the things that really interested you to create information pages. So we're going to do slightly similar with the Vikings, as they were so incredible last time. I'd like you to choose. It might be that you create an A3 poster, A4 poster, it might be a leaflet. It can be presented in any way you like, preferably handwritten though, so we're practicing that handwriting. And you can choose whether you want to write about the Vikings in general with lots of different topics under that, or whether you want to pick a specific area such as the religion or daily life perhaps, or maybe about their invasions and things. That's up to you, and I talk a little bit more about that in the English task on Google Classroom with my videos. But I've given you 2 weeks so that you can first remind yourselves of the features you need to use, the language features and presentation features for creating a non-fiction piece of text. I've also given plenty of time for you planning it out, considering your layout and things. And then we obviously need to be drafting our writing, proofreading and editing this as you go, not just creating the final piece straight away, because we need to check that it's written in the best way, that we've checked spelling, grammar, punctuation and things like that as we go. So I haven't specifically always given something for each day, but I've given you a rough guideline of how you can work across those 2 weeks that you get everything done, but so that they're produced, high quality leaflets and non-fiction texts, because I really look forward to seeing these. I do explain more in the videos, but you are more than welcome to send me bits of text, whether it's a paragraph or the whole thing, throughout the 2 weeks. I can mark it myself and I can send it back to you. It gives me that option, so don't worry about sending things to me and thinking you'll lose them. Whether you send a photo of it or if it's typed up on one of the slides, I can mark it as well as you proofreading it. So between us we can make it as best as it can be. And then spend some time on the presentation of this, so that these are really fabulous, and perhaps this could be something that comes back into school when we do come back, because it'd be lovely to see them in person as well, because I know you'll spend a lot of time and effort on these. So I hope you enjoy that, but just remember you do have the whole 2 weeks for that. There's other tasks on there. I won't go through everything, as hopefully it's nice and clear on the overview, but hopefully you've noticed that there is a new box on our overview called Ready, Steady, Read. Or we have decided as a school that we're going to have a bit of a focus on reading for a whole month. We know that World Book Day is coming up soon, so we thought it was a great time to do it, and I'm really excited about what we've got planned. So each week over the next 4 weeks is going to be a slightly different focus, with a task related to that, and they're going to be completely different each week, to hopefully keep it exciting and keep you wanting to share about authors and books and things like that. So the first week for this week is all about authors. So your task on our overview is to create a poster about your favourite author. On here you can share the books that they've written, a little bit about the author. It would be interesting to find out some background information. You might to talk about the sort of genre of writing that they produce, and kind of almost sell your author's books to others so that we can share those. And it might help others to find new authors or book interests that they haven't come across before. They can be presented however you like, whether you want to do it on the computer or handwritten, but see if you can find out a little bit more information about the author, because you might be interested too. Now I thought also on top of that actually it'd be quite nice to have a quiz each week that relates to the topic for our Ready, Steady, Read. So I have put together a short quiz for you today that's all about authors, but I'm not going to tell you the answers today. I'd like you to write down your answers, and then when we have our Google Meet this week, if you can make sure you have your answers with you, and we'll go through them then, because then we can discuss a little bit about what we thought, who got the answers, who didn't, sort of thing. So there's 8 questions, so you might want to pause the video and get a paper and pen so you can write down your answers, and just don't lose them. Make sure you bring them to our Google Meet. No cheating. So my first question is, who is the author of Green Eggs and Ham? Okay, if you need to pause the video to write down your answers, you can, because I'll just go through the questions, but you can always pause me. Number 2, Milfred Hubble attends Miss Cackle's Academy in which series of books by Jill Murphy? Now, as I grew up as a child, I loved watching the programme of these books on TV. It was one of my favourites, so it'd be interesting to see if any of you guys are interested in these books. We definitely have some in our classroom as well. Number 3, who is the author of The Enormous Crocodile? Definitely somebody in our class that enjoys this author. And number 4, I had to get in a Harry Potter question. What is the name of J.K. Rowling's second Harry Potter book? What's the name of her second book? Number 5, in which Michael Morpurgo book is Michael cast adrift from his parents' boat and left on an island in the Pacific Ocean? Number 6, who is the author of the Treehouse series? I know these are really popular books in our class, but I wonder if you can remember the name of the author. Number 7, what is the title of the Ted Hughes story about a destructive giant made of metal who befriends a boy? Can you think of a story about a destructive giant made of metal? And the author is Ted Hughes. Do you know the name of the book? My last one, question 8, is where is Michael Bond's famous Paddington Bear from? So where does Paddington Bear come from? Okay, I hope you've managed to answer most of those at least. As I say, bring your answers to our Google Meet and we'll have a little discussion before we play any of our games. I hope you have a super week of learning. As always, any troubles with Google Classroom or any of the work, please do shout. I can help you where I can, but you're becoming pretty good whizzes on there now. I've been really impressed. I hope you have a wonderful week and I look forward to seeing your wonderful learning.